Thanks for what you do with your podcast and all the rest. You're doing a great job. Hope everybody keeps tuning in. You get a lot of good info, a lot of insights, understandings of how to get strong, how to stay strong, how to use your strength.
You do a great job, dude. You make things better than they are in real life, I think.
If you don't follow Massenomics, y'all do it. Social media, website, everything.
Massenomics.
Welcome, everyone, to episode 336 of the Massenomics podcast, the lifting podcast about nerfing. I'm Tommy DeFay, and next to me is my brother,
Ryan DeFay. We have the same last name, if you can believe that much.
Wow, I had to put on my best Tanner impression there. I had to run through all of his jokes and all of his things for the intro. I, for a second, was looking at you like, thinking, okay, slide it down, Ryan will take it. But no, that's not how it goes. Today's different. Tanner is not here, as we just covered. Ryan's filling in for him. We had some last-second change of plans, so we switched it up. Ryan showed up, and we got some fun stuff planned tonight.
I'd like to think, and I think this is true, that I am I the alternate host that has hosted the most times?
We talked about this. Yeah, I think technically, yes. Yeah, you've been
technicalities aside.
You've been on the most, and then, for sure you're the most outside of Tanner and I. So
outside of the people that
someone did the math. I believe it was Big Matt did the math, and this is episode 336, but it is 260 episodes in the making because What's Up with Flyin Ryan D episode 76. That's when that one came on.
That's the last time I was on.
Well, I don't know if that was the last time you were on, but that was the episode that had your name in the title. So here we are, 260 episodes later. That's only like it's almost 5 years to the even, right?
Yeah.
52 times 5? It's got to be about 260, right?
What year was that from?
I don't know.
That was probably when
it was a while
Mr.
ago.
Effenstein was still.
Oh yeah, for
on.
sure. Yeah, for
Oddly enough, he almost ran into me.
Did he?
Today.
Like with a vehicle or
with a car? Yeah. It was an accident.
Oh.
Well, it was almost
an accident waiting to happen.
But,
well, before we get to that though, we got a lot of stuff to cover, but we got some ads to read. And the first ad we're going to talk about,
this is my favorite part,
is from the fine folks at Spud Inc. And the Spud Inc. Grips and Ribs Deadlift Straps. Oh, Repeatonomics said you're on 115. We'll get to that though. The Grips and Ribs Deadlift Strap is another addition to the many styles of deadlift straps Spud Inc. carries. Always inspired by performance and quality first, the Grips and Ribs are no different. The bar side is a thick cotton for maximum grab and bite, old school style when pulling. The other side is ribbed for your pleasure. Not what you are thinking, but meaning hand comfort with more surface for the fingers and hands to secure to. The straps are 1.5 inches wide by 24 inches long. In this new age world, these deadlift straps create a new level so you'll be comfy and safe when pulling them big weights. So basically, it's like a deadlift strap, but like they said, one side of the strap has a little different material. So
let me catch a glimpse of these warlocks. I'm not really sure.
There you go. See, they're kind of like a double ply. One side's one type of material, the other side's a different type of material.
I like it.
That?
I'm interested.
Right. Okay.
I do love deadlift straps.
So if you're interested in getting yourself a pair of Grips and Ribs deadlift straps for your pleasure, go to spud-inc-straps.com. And today's episode is also brought to you by Juggernaut AI. Ryan and I are both users of Juggernaut AI. I am
a user and an abuser.
And abuser. I'm a late night schmoozer. I am, 22 weeks deep in it and freaking setting PRs every single week here. You got to be probably 20 weeks deep.
Carry the 2. Yeah, week 20.
Yeah. So
deload. Ooh, that reminds me. You ever do this?
What?
I'm still active on dates.
I forget to fill it out sometimes. But Juggernaut, they are the real deal for training. Like we were just saying, I'm super far into it. Ryan is too. We're both seeing incredible gains. It is going awesome. They have a really nice app. It works Works with you, not against you, gets you stronger, all that good stuff. We're actually going to talk about it more in a second here, so I won't make the ad part too long because it just turns into a bigger ad. But the important part is if you're interested in signing up for Juggernaut AI, go to their website, juggernautai.com, I believe. You can Google it, but sign up there. And then when you sign up, make sure you use code Massenomics when you check out. That'll save you 10% every month on your subscription. And when you put pencil to paper, can't afford not to do that one. So thank you, Juggernaut AI. So we're going to lead right into that, Ryan. My training is going great. I hit another
JuggernautAI.com, not .gov, right?
Yeah, not .gov.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure not .org either.
Yeah.
I hit, I'm not even to my RP 10 week, and I hit my bench 290 for a set of 3 today, top set. And I'm getting close to all-time PRs right there on bench.
Wow.
Like it's going great. And squat actually just the other day, 395 for a top set of 3. And so 4 plates is just around the corner, which that seemed like miles away not that long ago. So it's going good for me. You recently had some pretty banging deadlift sets I saw.
Yeah, and that's, going into the Juggernaut AI program, that's like what a lot of people say. It's like, oh, it really gets your deadlift improving. And I guess I've always had like favorable deadlift or like deadlifting. So when I heard that, I was like, oh, I really want to try. But bench as well, I would say, because I'm just so inconsistent with bench. And to have a really consistent program with bench has been great. Like because it does a really great job of programming. I mean, that's obviously what the whole point of it is.
Yeah.
But I've had like, I don't know what it is with bench. It just always seems to just eventually just go in the shitter. But yeah, like 275, I think I was trying to do like a set of 4 at RP 10. And I was like, I honestly don't know if I've ever even done this like more than once, like struggling very difficult, like a lot. And I tried to do it for 4 and I got it for 3, which again, I don't even know if I've ever done it for 2 times. And it's like, okay, well, at least this is, the
You're
proof,
hitting actual PRs.
the proof is in the pudding.
Yeah.
The proof is in the Juggernaut AI.
Yeah. So we talked about the ad, but yeah, this is just us kind of talking about our training actually. And it is going really good. You had a crazy deadlift set the other day. You finally found like a top end on your deadlift after a very, very, very long time of going for that.
Yeah. 655 for 3, which
did you get the third and you missed the fourth or
well, no,
or were you going for 3?
Well, 655 was the 3 rep.
Okay. And you got it past your knees though, right? The third one?
Well, no. I did all 3.
Oh, you did.
6. I tried to do 635 for 4.
Oh, okay.
And
okay.
my lower back is kind of not being so agreeable right now, so I kind of will chalk it up to that.
Yeah.
But
all right.
But yeah, very good trackable progress across the board. Squat, like what was it, 3 weeks ago, 495 for 3, and that felt really great. I did wear knee sleeves though, so I don't know if that counts.
That's practically cheating.
That's like WPO pretty much.
Yeah.
Multiply.
It's practically multiply.
But no, I think the thing that I like, the two things that I didn't really even think about going into it were how basically everything you do from, your heaviest sets of squat to your lateral dumbbell raises, as long as you are keeping track and you are putting in the information, like it's all going to be there. So if you are like, man, I've done dumbbell lateral raises for 2 months, I don't really want to do them anymore, I'm kind of sick of them, and you swap them out, and then a training block goes by and you're like, oh, I really like those, but couldn't tell you what the hell I did for sets or reps.
Yep.
You just go back and look, and it's all there, because even pen and paper programs, a lot of that stuff just kind of, it's like,
it does.
Just do a set of 10, we'll call it good or whatever. And
yeah,
it's hard to keep track of.
It gets easy to skip and all that. So,
and the second thing that I think is really great that gets overlooked are deloads. And with the Juggernaut program, you do a deload.
They're in there.
Is every 4th week, right?
Yeah.
Every 4th week.
Yep.
Which deloads. Underrated.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah. They're good stuff. So we've done a lot of sets and reps talking on this podcast already.
Well, that's why people listen, don't they?
I think it is. They wanted to
for
catch
lifting
some of those.
and our opinions on.
We got those. And
lifting.
this episode, sometimes people say Tanner and I sound a lot alike. They're probably going to really think that it's almost the same person talking to themselves on this one. So it'll really send them for a trip.
I'm the guy with the diet soda.
We're going to go on to some of the more hard hitting things right now. And I did give the Discord a heads up that that Tanner was booted for the night and you were taking his place.
A hostile
and
takeover.
There were a few questions that came in. And I think maybe the most important one, people were just asking for a chili dog update.
Oh, okay. This is actually really funny. And I, if anybody knows me, I usually just take something and just run with it and just run it into the ground. I love it. That's awesome.
There's some grilling posters popping in the Discord.
Yeah, that's great. So Massenomics, as it were.
Yep.
He had this can of hot dog chili that he's just been ranting and raving about for months now, and saying that
like the chili is actually branded with the idea that it's going on hot dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
a thing. No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, when they came over him and Caden came over.
I knew
it's a package deal.
Yeah, you get both of them.
Caden came over for my bachelor party. Mason was like, "Oh, I had this gift for you, but I forgot it at home," and he wouldn't tell me what it was. And then he ended up telling me like a month later, "Oh, it's this canned chili for hot dogs, for chili dogs. Oh, it's so good." And I think I saw him probably 5 or 6 more times, and every time, I meant to bring it, but I forgot. Like one time we were at Larry's house in Larry's backyard, and he's like, I had the chili and then I forgot it. And then today I go to the gym this afternoon, and what's in my locker?
The canned hot dog chili. So have you had it yet?
I opened it right on the spot, and just the whole thing. No, it sat home in the cupboard.
And this stems from, for people that aren't totally familiar, there was, about a month or two ago?
Yeah, it was.
How many chili dogs? Oh, you made chili dogs for a party.
We had my wife, it was her birthday a few months ago, and
like any wife, she wants a chili dog buffet for
her
birthday.
Well, I'm just a moron, and I always make my wife, that's the one. But I just always make like way too much food usually, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna make tacos, and what else should we make?" I'm like, "Oh, I really want to make chili dogs.
Like,
I really want to make
any traditional Mexican restaurant. You get the tacos and you get the chili dog
I was
platter.
just fiending for some chili dogs, and if I'm like, I want something or I want to make it, I'm going to make it. So I was like, I really want to make homemade chili for chili dogs. Like a very thin, like just a meaty sauce. There's no beans. This is hot dog chili here. You know?
Is that the traditional hot dog chili mix? Is no beans and mostly
just meat, baby.
Is that
It's
is
just
it
like
though? Is that like what the expectation is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know if beans were supposed to be in
It's
a
like a
traditional chili
condiment.
dog.
It's not supposed to be like
Okay. It is. Oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to be
A meat sauce.
It's not supposed to compete with the dog.
No, the
right.
dog is the star of the show.
Okay,
The
it's
meat
all just-
sauce
all
is
right.
like the supporting actor.
Right. Right.
But
The best boy grip.
exactly. But yeah, I made like, I don't know, 30 dogs too many or something like that.
Like you didn't make 30 dogs. You made 30
Too many.
additional on top of what was consumed.
Yeah. So the weekend's over, and I'm like, I have like so many dogs that need to get eaten, so much hot dog chili. So every day on my lunch break, I would eat like 4, 5 chili dogs, and then I got to the end of the week, and I was like, I think I can hit it even 20 here. And then the last day there was only 3 left, and it put me at 19. And I kind of felt like it was all for nothing. I was like, even 20 would have been like
I only ate 19 chili dogs.
Yeah.
I kind of wasted my time not having 20 to consume.
that is something I like to share with people though. is,
I do remember you said like, oh, you want a lot of engagement on social media, eat 19 chili dogs. And
yeah.
it really brings people out of the woodwork for
Yeah.
comments.
Little talking head segment on, stance on chili dogs. People love it. So
Yeah.
good engagement.
It is good stuff. we're gonna pop into a can here. You get to be because we have a it's not a full guest. We're kind of doing something different. We have an announcement to make. That's one part of the show tonight. We have a special announcement.
Oprah, she's having a baby.
But before we get there, we do have to crack into a can. So I'm going to need you to put on Tanner's official blindfold.
His negligee.
Yeah, because this is an official What's in the Can segment.
This goes over my eyes, right?
Yep. Just flip it on over there. Okay. Ryan is applying the blindfold. I am prepping the can. The can is prepped. The blindfold is on. I'm handing it to you now. Here you go.
Oh, it's one of those cans of chili.
It's a chili can. Did you hear the can opener running? Okay, go ahead and open it up. Get that whiff.
I really hope it's a Monster Energy drink.
I didn't tell you, but it's...
Oh, it doesn't smell like chili.
Doesn't smell like much. I'll give you a clue. I've never had this, and I'm not sure I could. Well, look, you can taste it.
You know, they say when one of your senses is taken away, it heightens the other. But
all the others are heightened to an incredible level.
I feel like I can't smell anything. Okay,
maybe all of yours will. Maybe it's the opposite. Yours will all get dulled even more. It's like a chain reaction. It's only as strong as the weakest chain, the weakest link. Do you have any idea what that flavor is?
I feel more confident guessing the style of beverage.
Okay,
because I feel like it's not a fizzy water. I feel like it's some type of like soda that's not a soda.
Okay, not sure what that is.
That's not.
Do you have any brands that produce that you know of?
No, just like kombucha.
Okay.
Is it like apricot or something? Apricot?
I don't know. Is it?
Or peach, maybe? No, I don't.
I could maybe see where you're coming from with that. I don't think that's a terrible guess. I'm not going to say if you're right or wrong yet until you put your official vote in.
I'm going to say peach apricot. Peach apricot. We're combining both of them.
Do you have any idea on the brand we're talking here?
It's a tall can.
It's a tall boy, one of them pounders.
Is it a 16 ouncer? 15 or 14?
I think it's 16 unless they did something goofy here.
Oh, I know what it is. It's a mango liquid death.
Oh, take a look.
Is it?
Take a look. It is a liquid death. Bury it alive.
Oh, okay.
Bury it alive as in BERRY. So I'm assuming the flavor has to be something berry here. What do they get on the flavor list? See, they put agave nectar in their stuff. Is like where their passion fruit flavor, berry flavor, citric acid, hibiscus flavor is hiding in there too, and natural black cherry.
That's kind of like peach apricot.
It's not like it's not like the worst guess. Like you're kind of in the ballpark, but I don't know if I would pick berry when I taste this thing.
No. Maybe chili dog.
Like I don't mind the flavor. But
these are good.
They are good.
These are good.
I don't mind the flavor. Someone sent us the lime one a couple weeks ago, and I thought the lime was better than this. But lime is just, I think, easier to get right. It's just citrusy,
lime is unmistakable.
Yeah.
Mango is good.
I haven't had that one yet.
But as soon as I was really racking my brain with tall cans, and I'm like, liquid death.
Yeah. So
what is it? Anybody's guess.
It is. So what's the ranking you would apply to this thing?
What is it?
0 to 5 JD Power and Associates Awards.
Oh,
you can go by half. You can go by half points too.
3.5. 3.5.
I think that's what I do too. I think I'd give it a 3.5 on that.
The mango is a little bit better though.
Yeah, it's fine.
What I would say is good about these, or better if you're in the market for this, is there is some sugar in these.
Yeah.
So the flavor is a little more prominent than a LaCroix.
Oh yeah, there's 3 grams of sugar.
Well, that's it. That's enough though.
Yeah.
Do you know how much a gram of sugar looks like?
It's like a solid cube, right?
It's like a
giant
brick.
cube. Yeah.
A Lego block. No, it's like one of those cubes though, isn't it?
I don't know. Is one of those cubes a gram?
I think so.
We're
gonna say
I
it
just always
is.
remember you'd see the pictures of like this is how many grams of sugar in a Mountain Dew, and it's just like
It's like a pyramid. It's like, first of all, who set all these up?
Yeah, and like how is that bottle? How am I not chewing that bottle when I drink it? You know,
It's pretty impressive.
I guess I don't really drink Mountain Dew anymore. But as a kid, like how is that a liquid and not something you chew the whole way down?
That's half the fun.
Okay.
The science behind it.
Okay, so we gotta keep this train moving because this is a special announcement, but we have a collaboration coming out next week. The Discord is on right now. I think we're gonna keep them on for this announcement, and they'll just be along for the ride. See what happens here. So I gotta spin up the old phone machine. Let me get our guest prepared. Here we go. Calling the guest. Oh, there we go.
What's up?
Hello, is this Big Kevin?
This is Big Kevin speaking.
Kevin,
Howdy.
you are live on the Massenomics podcast with Tommy and my brother Ryan.
What's up, Ryan?
Hey, how's it going, Kevin?
Do you have the same luscious locks as your brother?
The exact same.
They're actually, we kind of have different spectrums of the hair game going. Ryan's got like really thick dark hair, but he keeps his relatively short compared to mine. So
Relatively.
relatively, and
But
when I say
actually
actually
also.
short. We also might sound exactly the same when you're talking to us. So if you get confused, you have a free pass for that.
Sorry.
It's all good.
So Kevin, I didn't give anyone. We have the Discord listening in on us too. I didn't give them any heads up as to who we're talking to. So we're talking to Kevin McHugh with Live Large.
What's up, guys?
And Kevin, well, we're gonna we have a special announcement. We're gonna get to the announcement, but before we get to the announcement, we have a very important thing to talk about, and that is how's dad life going?
Man, dad life is great. My son was born basically like Labor Day, and so he's 3 months old now, and we're kind of now just getting into the routine of daily life.
Just being like boring old parents.
I guess no, it's a lot though, but we're really now working on daily schedules and trying to give my wife a break so she kind of keeps her sanity, because it's hard. A lot of it just falls on the mom to do a lot of the stuff. So I really try and pull my weight in other areas, but I love it, man. It's the first few weeks were kind of rough because the babies are basically just a blob.
Yeah.
They just kind of poop. They kind of poop and cry, and you don't really have a connection yet.
Yeah. Then they're just like, they need mom, and you're just like, I'm just the useless guy over here that does nothing.
Right. Yeah. I can change your diaper, and that's about it. And then, okay, here's mom. Here's your boob.
Yep.
But now he actually looks at me and he coos and he knows who I am. And I think that's the coolest thing, for me. That's
Finally
worth
some
it.
recognition, right?
Absolutely. It's the best. I don't know if you know how he was born, but he was born in the backseat of our car.
Okay, I thought I saw. Yeah, I don't know if that was you or Anna that had a post saying something about that, but yeah, that was
Anna posted it. But the day he was born, I told Anna, I said, "Hey, we should probably let our boss know that we had the baby." And she's like, "Yeah." So we told him, he was born and whatever. And Nick's like, if you guys need anything at all, like, let me know. I was like, well, we're gonna need a fucking detail.
Because for people that don't know, your baby was actually born in the car, right?
Correct. Yeah. So
They don't typically do that, right? It's in the hospital.
And
normally?
this wasn't like an automobile hospital either, was it?
No, Volkswagen Atlas, man. That's my plug. Volkswagen Atlas
Can do anything.
Great for giving birth in.
Yeah. So we labored at home, and that was the plan. We had a doula, and it was great, and everything was going as planned. But his position, he was in a posterior position, so we had to get him to spin. And make a long story short,
the Atlas. The Atlas will spin him right around.
Well, to make a long story short, our doula's methods were so good that he basically dropped when we were in our bedroom. And so it was like her second round of water gushing, if you will. I'm like, fuck, we got to go. I'm like panic mode. I'm like, we got to go. And I got, the car was all packed, so I pulled the car up in the front and I come inside, dude, she's like hunched over the counter, having a contraction, screaming, but also cutting a slice of cake at the same time. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? She's like, well, they're not going to feed me at the hospital. I need to eat something.
There's a lot going on now.
I'm like, get in the car. We had to pull over the car like a block down the street because she thought it was happening right then and there. So our doula gets in the car with us, and I was going like 95 down the highway, man. It was Labor Day and Memorial Day, and it was gonna be like one of those O.J. Simpson things. Like, okay, you're gonna try and pull me over, and I'm not stopping. I was going like 95, and I was like, I don't give a fuck. And at one point, they were screaming, they're like, "You gotta slow down! Like, you're gonna make it happen faster." So he crowned as we pulled into the parking lot, and they're like, "We're gonna just do it right here." And he was born in the back seat. It was crazy.
Yeah, that's I've heard of a decent number of birth stories lately. A lot of people my age having kids, but I haven't known anyone having a baby in a car yet. So you guys get that award for sure.
Well, and that's why, a lot of people, I felt kind of weird for a little while because a lot of people were like, "How's dad life?" And it took me a while to kind of get over the whole traumatic birth experience.
Yeah.
I had to get over that. And I was explaining to someone the other day, I was like, in a traditional hospital setting, like, there's doctors, there's nurses, you're hooked up and they're giving you updates. Oh, okay, hey, in an hour, we're probably going to start, this is going to happen. And it wasn't like that at all. It's just like, here's your fucking baby. So it was crazy.
Yeah, well, congratulations, Kevin. That is
Thanks.
Awesome.
And you just had a baby as well, right?
Yeah, like 2 weeks ago, had our second kid. So yeah, life has been pretty hectic over here.
I get it, man. I get it.
Yeah, kind of. It is weird. You do forget how much of the early stuff, or you just forget the early stuff in general. You move on, and then you have another kid. You're like, damn, we used to do this, really? Like it goes kind of. You got to hit the reset button.
Well, yeah, and when we started registering for shit, I'm like, what is this? What is all this shit? And
that's 100%. Like, my wife is all these things, and I'm like, I don't think anyone needs these things. And she's like, no, trust me, you do. And yeah, she was right.
And then you fucking need it. Yeah. Everything, man.
Yep.
Do you have that booger? Do you have the booger sucker?
Yeah. Well, just the one you suck yourself or the one you squeeze?
The one you put in your mouth. And
the baby Frida or whatever. Yeah, I don't do that, but
so
my
gross.
wife does, and it's absolutely disgusting. That's
just gross.
Yeah, I didn't believe that was a thing either, but that gets put to use a lot. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we probably don't want to bore everyone with baby talk the whole time.
No, not at all.
So
baby talk.
Yeah, we do have an important announcement, and that announcement is that there is a Mastonomics Live Large collaboration tee. Not just one, but two collaboration tees coming out the week you're hearing this. We actually have the Discord hearing, so they're getting a little heads up listening in right now. But this episode typically drops on a Monday, which would be the 12th. The t-shirt will be dropping on the night of the 13th. Correct, Kevin?
That is correct.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're fact checking me here. So,
I actually had to pull out my calendar.
I had to look before this. I'm like, there's a lot of details I could get wrong here. But we have been, can't even tell like how long we've been talking with Nick about the idea of doing some collaboration, like way too long. And
I want to say I'm glad that we settled on the collab tees and not the original idea.
Oh yeah, we won't say any of the original ideas in case we ever come back to it. But there was some pretty wild ideas being floated around in the beginning. I guess we went somewhat conventional. We went the t-shirt route here, but I think they turned out pretty awesome. And we'll just say the theme is the party never dies is the theme of the tees, and we won't give too much away so people can actually check them out when they come out. But we did our take on it. You guys did your take on it, and I think they're both look pretty kick ass. I'm excited for both of them.
Yeah, I saw yours first, and I was actually really excited. You guys did a good job of just kind of capturing both brands specifically. You look at it and you're like, this is both Live Large and Massenomics.
Yeah, we have kind of a history over here of trying to capture brands, so it
a track record.
It worked good for us. But no, we got ours done, and shortly after you guys came out with yours, and I'm like, damn, they took the idea and totally put the Live Large twist on it too. So, yeah, we've had these. They've been done for a little while now, and I'm pretty excited to get these things out there. I think people are going to really like them, and so we'll have for people that haven't been through this or curious about where to get them, we'll have ours on our website that people can get. You guys will be releasing your version on your website at the same time that people can get. We'll also send out some emails so people, can find out where to find the other one. But I think it's gonna be a really cool, fun item for us to have out there.
Well, I'm big on the very limited run exclusive type stuff. I mean, we only printed 100 of these, and they turned out great. And it's one of those things where we still get messages all the time like, oh, are you guys going to bring back this one shirt, or when are you going to restock this? It's like, no, this is a one-time thing. So this Mastonomics shirt, you're only getting this one chance at it. If we sell out, I mean, we might do a restock, but it's
so you might be able to get it again.
You only get one shot at the first run. We'll just say that.
Correct.
And then,
correct. But we get messages from shirts we released like 3 years ago. It's like, yeah, I don't think we're bringing those back.
Oh God, yeah. And then the other one is the second, like you've had a shirt forever, and you're like, okay, finally we sold out of that shirt. You'll get an email from someone like the next day, like, oh, I want that shirt. And you're like, really? Like we've had that in stock for a year straight, and now you want it the day it's gone. That tends to be how that goes. But, yeah. So I guess people need to make sure be on the lookout for their emails. Make sure you sign up for the Live Large list too, so you can be on the lookout for all that good stuff and all the drops you guys have coming out too in the future here. But anything else?
And not to cut you off, but what I really like about it is, because I started talking to some people out here, and I said that we're doing a collab with you guys, and people were like, "What's Massenomics?"
Yeah.
Oh my. And I feel like
did you like body slam them right there on the spot?
I'm like, you don't have a drink spotter?
Well, they don't care about safety.
But I think it would be the same for you guys. I mean, you guys definitely have customers or followers that might not know who we are. So it's a great way to kind of bring brand awareness to both of our companies.
Oh, and yes, for sure. And that's what we've done this with some other brands in the past. And that is like, you get amazed. You'd think like powerlifting isn't that big, and Live Large has been around, it feels like forever. And, Massenomics, we've been around a little while, not as long as you guys. And, but you just feel like both of us have been around that. If you kind of pay attention at all, you should know of both brands, but there's 100%, like you guys have a good chunk of customers that for sure have never bought anything from us and possibly never heard of us. And we definitely have customers that have never bought anything from you and possibly never heard of you too. So it is a really cool way for us to, get to introduce our customers, our supporters to each other.
And, speaking on behalf of Nick, I mean, I don't think we've never done a collab with any other company, and he thinks so highly of both you guys and just you guys as a brand. And I mean, he still jokes about the first time he ever met you guys at the Arnold. You guys just showed up and didn't really know what the hell you guys were doing.
Yeah, we're just like, Nick, let us interview you. And he was probably like, okay, whatever, weirdos.
But that's who he is. He'll share his knowledge with anybody. I mean, that's the kind of guy he is. But he said a while ago, he's like, if we're going to collab with anybody, Massenomics would be the guys to do it with. So I'm glad it worked out. I think people are going to be stoked for both designs. I hope people buy both, because if you got to decide, I would just grab both.
Yeah, they got to get on it. Yeah, totally, for sure. How is Live Large things going? Are you guys staying pretty busy over there?
Live Large is going well, man. Picking up a lot of events.
Yeah.
Obviously now that, we're a little bit more settled at home, I'm able to hit the road and do some more in-person events. So I was just in Pittsburgh last weekend. I'm going to Pittsburgh again this weekend.
How far of a drive is Pittsburgh for you?
So from Cleveland, it's like 2 hours. Okay. We're 2 hours
to everything.
We're kind of smack dab in the middle. So it's Pittsburgh, Columbus, Detroit, Cincinnati's like 3 hours. So there's a lot of stuff nearby. And getting back home to Chicago is a very easy drive for me too. It's only 5 hours. It's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's right. Chicago. Okay. I could not remember. I thought maybe you were I didn't think you lived in Ohio, but I didn't know if I was getting someone mixed up, but it was Chicago. Okay.
No, Nick convinced me to quit my job and move out to Ohio and run Live Large. That's how it all.
He's
That's
very,
all that'll
very
happen.
persuasive.
Were you
man, isn't
running
he?
a different powerlifting apparel company before this?
No, I was actually working. I was working in a special ed classroom.
Oh, actually, yeah. Ryan was a teacher for
I was
2
in
years
the
too.
education circuit for about 5 years. So
Yeah, I worked in special ed for about 10 years. And Nick had conveniently kind of hit me up right at my breaking point, or when I was starting to get kind of burnt out.
you just had one breaking point? That's
I had multiple. I worked in Chicago public schools, and it's rough. I loved the kids, but it's
tough.
It's tough. It's hard. It's hard dealing with parents. It's always your fault, and it's kind of like a revolving door. You know,
it just goes
you don't
round
always
and round.
you don't really get credit for what you do or the hard work you put in. And I mean, there's days I'd get in the car and like, not cry, but you're just so emotionally drained from dealing with what you're dealing with in the classroom, you know?
And then you got to do it all over again the next day.
Yeah. And I'm sitting here, I'm like, fuck, like, and we want to have kids. How the hell am I going to do this all day and then come home to my own child?
Oh yeah, that was.
It genuinely freaked me out. It did. Because
Yeah.
I would give these kids my all, man. And then I'd come home and there's no way. So yeah, we live in Cleveland now. Which I don't know,
like
it's worse. It might be worse.
Do you feel like living in Cleveland? Like, do you feel? I mean, it's still the Midwest. Do you feel like it's like a whole different vibe than Chicago?
I don't think Cleveland is the Midwest.
You know, okay. Well, I just assumed that you lived in Ohio, that you would say Ohio's the Midwest, because that's always a point of contention, especially in our Discord. Is a lot of people don't believe Ohio is the Midwest.
It's weird. I think Ohio's in a world of its own, man. Everyone in Ohio, if you're from Ohio, you fucking love Ohio.
Oh,
you
yeah.
could give a fuck about anything else.
There's something in the water.
I think being from Illinois, I think the Midwest is, Iowa, Wisconsin,
Yeah.
Illinois, Michigan, like just maybe more centrally located. But
Yeah.
hey, you know what? If this is the Midwest, it's great. It's the same type of people. It's the same, beliefs out here. I mean, people still think Trump is president right now where we live, which is it's cool, I guess.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, it's it took us a while to get. I mean, I used to work in a very diverse neighborhood in Chicago, and I was the minority. And then the town we live in here, everyone's white. I'm like, fuck, like this is very different from where
Flipped
I'm from.
it on its head.
Yeah, but if you want diversity, it's like, oh, just go to Cleveland, go to the east side, you're good. So, and there it is.
All right, Kevin, we got a little game we play with everyone that we have a phone call with, and that little game is called Overrated, Underrated. Are you familiar with this game?
Oh, I'm familiar with this game.
Okay.
He
Okay.
knows.
So we have a special set of hand-picked Kevin topics, and it's your job to decide if they're overrated or underrated. The most important thing is you cannot ride the line. You have to decide.
Okay.
That'll make sense?
That makes sense. I'm ready.
Okay. First thing, overrated or underrated, 7-string guitars.
Ooh, underrated.
Underrated. And it looks like you're a bit of a guitar guy yourself.
I
A
am.
guitar guy, you could say.
I think they're underrated. I think when metalcore and death metal and heavy metal was really getting big in the early 2000s, I think people looked at the 7-string as just a way of, it's kind of cheating. It's just an extra low note, but it's on a technical level, because I recently got a 7-string, I think last year, and it's just a whole nother, it's learning a whole new instrument because it plays completely different than anything else. I definitely think they're underrated. And musically, some of the coolest songs I've ever heard have been written on 7-string guitars.
So are there chords that you actually use is it totally, or do different chords exist totally like with the 7-string guitar? How's that go?
I mean, so my dad builds guitars. My dad is like the music god in my eyes. So, but I'm not musically trained. So like I can't read music, none of that. Everything I've ever learned, I've learned by ear. Or when I was growing up, I'd see my dad like, hey, what chord is this? And he'd show me, and I'd go back to my room and play it. So I don't have that like background, but basically, if you know how regular 6-string guitar works, if you're playing a power chord, right?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm talking to anybody who knows power chords, if you just go up one more string, you can play the exact same chords. But if you're going to play like a G chord, you wouldn't be able to do that. The tuning is different.
Okay.
You can drop tune. I don't know. I kind of just pick the shit up and play it.
Okay. Hey, no, we were looking through your Instagram, man. You
Got a lot.
you really wail on that thing, Kevin.
Well, COVID happened and I was bored as fuck and I wasn't training and I had some guitars here and I have an amp back home with my parents. I never brought it back out here when we moved, and I was like, I'm gonna just buy an amp and I'll start playing again. I bought some recording software and I just started, because I used to do that years ago. I was in bands and it kind of reignited my passion. So now I kind of just do it for fun, but now it's hard with the baby. It's finding time. It's like, do I want to go to the gym? Do I want to work on Live Large shit, or do I want to play guitar? The time is hard, you know?
Yeah. I had something just come full circle for me right before we recorded this episode. We were digging back through your feed and I saw the video of you
Oh
had
my
the,
God,
the
Tiger
curl
King?
shirt on singing the Tiger King. I'm like, I remember that video totally because I thought it was so awesome and I never knew who did it because I had never met you yet. So it came full circle where I finally had this revelation of who did that.
So that night, because my wife works with Nick at the pizza shop. She does a lot of like the higher end stuff with him, and the pizza shop was blowing up during COVID. So she was there working a Friday or Saturday night, and I was home alone. I think I had 3-4 Jack and Cokes, just chilling, watching TV. And Tiger King was blown up, and I picked up the guitar. I was like, I'm going to just, fuck it. I'm going to just record myself playing this, because early COVID was very weird. You didn't know if the world was ending or not.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
So I was like, I have no shame. If this is how we're going out, cool. This is how I'll be remembered. And yeah, I just so happened to be wearing your shirt that night.
Yeah, classic.
One thing led to another, as they say.
That was good stuff.
Yeah, that's actually one of my favorite shirts you guys made.
The curls is up there for you.
Yeah,
it is pretty. Anytime you can make a yellow shirt, you guys have a couple yellow shirts. Like,
yeah, but
anytime you make yellow work, it's good.
I've wanted to use that color yellow that you guys use, but Nick loves the yellow tee we use, so we kind of stick with that one.
Yeah. Damn, Nick, always getting in the way.
But the one we use only goes to 3X. You guys, I was able to do that in 4X, which I was like, this is a cool color.
Yep.
I got to support the big guys. I can't be a 4X and not advocate for the other big dudes.
Yeah, that's kind of basically a deal breaker if something can't go to 4X in a t-shirt. It sucks when you can't do. I mean, I know sometimes that is just the way it is, but it always sucks when that's the case.
Right.
Okay, next on the list, overrated or underrated, Mark Henry.
Oh man, he's underrated. I had so much respect for that dude. When I found out that I was able to break his drug tested squat record.
And what was that record for? So to make it super obvious here.
Don't quote me on the date. It was mid to early 90s. He squatted 953 pounds. He had the record for the heaviest drug tested squat with knee wraps. So me coming up in the sport, I always competed drug free. And I actually just talked to Dan Bell about this the other day. Like even though I competed drug free, I wanted to be on the platform with the freaks of the sport. It didn't matter. I would rather lose to Dan Bell than beat, a bunch of random kids at a fully tested local powerlifting meet.
Mm-hmm.
So I happened to just start looking at some meets that offered drug testing, because I was like, I could do this. I could break this record, and that could be like my legacy, or that's how I could kind of, make my name in the sport. And it was for me. I knew I was never going to be a Dan Bell or a John Hack or whatever. I wanted to do that for me. So I attempted it once and I got called on depth, and I signed up for a meet a month later. And it was actually like a West Side barbell meet. I out squatted, I think, everyone there but one dude.
That's awesome.
And they're all like Louis Simmons multiply guys. Louis actually invited me to West Side after that. And he's like, how much can you bench? And I was like, dude, my bench fucking sucks, man. Like, dude, thank you, but no thanks. And it was cool. And I actually reached out to Mark Henry like twice, and I got no response. And it's fine. But it was more so, that record had been sitting there for over 20 years. And with the sport now, records get broken weekly, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or monthly. And you go to some of these local events, oh, new state record, new whatever. And this, I had so much respect for because it hadn't been touched in 20 years. So me being the one to be able to break this, I wanted at least, if I have ever had that opportunity to like shake this dude's hand, be like, hey, thank you for giving me this ball to chase, if you will, because no one has been able to touch this.
Yeah.
And then this dude, Pat, him and I were going head to head. He actually broke it a year later. So former all-time world record holder.
Yeah. Well, still, I think people forget, like, well, how old are you, Kevin?
I just turned 33.
Okay. I'm 33 too. For me, when I think of Mark Henry, I think of like WWE days, like WWF.
Dude,
even.
Sexual chocolate, right?
Yeah.
I used to watch that, growing up.
And I think that's what a lot of people have in their mind, at least around our age, probably remember him from that. And they don't realize how much of just an absolute freak athlete he actually was. Between powerlifting and weightlifting. And there's that clip of him online, like dunking a basketball. Like the guy was so talented. It's crazy.
Yeah. And for me, it was like, imagine you're the guy that took Ed Cohn's record. Like, my respect for him was on that level. Like, you are not just a regular, lifter. This dude has accomplished so much. Like, the name, it's a household name.
Mm-hmm.
So, I had friends I hadn't talked to in high school hit me up after I did. They're like, yo, dude, I used to have this dude's action figure.
Yeah.
So,
beat that action figure. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. So, hey, you know what? If Mark Henry's listening, hey, I got nothing but respect for you, and I'd love to shake your hand one day.
Well, maybe at the Arnold.
True.
Did he MC at the Arnold for the strongman last year? Do you know?
I don't know.
Because he always used to.
Yeah.
He wasn't at the Arnold this year, I don't think.
All right. Well, maybe one of these years.
And this was a goofy Arnold anyway.
Yeah. True. Yeah.
Side note with that whole squat record, because I know Nick's going to listen to this. Nick made a bet with me years ago that I would never be able to squat 1,000 pounds drug free. So after I broke Mark's record, I was like, okay, fuck you, Nick. I'm going to do this. And then COVID happened. So I was like, fuck. And we were training my buddy's garage. And I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to prep for this because any meet I sign up for is just going to get canceled. So, yeah.
So it's still out there.
It can still happen.
Still out there. Maybe one day I can get on the horse again, but
yeah,
I so badly wanted to just be like, all right, Nick, pay me.
Okay. So yeah, we just need to get that date picked out and then you can make it happen.
Yeah, I do. 500 pounds is like heavy as dog shit right now.
But the thing you're a dad now, so you have the dad strength coming in soon. Like it'll all be turning around for you pretty soon.
Well, and full circle, because I'll go to the gym every now and then. There's like a gym right down the street from my house, and some kids will come up to me like, "Oh fuck, dude! Like I bench 405 tonight." They're like, "Dude, that's fucking crazy!" I'm like, "Man, like this ain't shit." Like I used to, and now I'm the guy like I used to.
Yeah.
I might as well get the New Balance while I'm at it. You know.
Yep, living the life. All right, next up, overrated or underrated running 5Ks.
Dude, that's overrated, man.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not going to disagree with you, but it looked like you went through a bit of a running phase here recently.
I did. So full transparency, transitioning from the powerlifting, setting that record to COVID, because I competed around like 380, 390, and I've always kind of had like body dysmorphia. I've always kind of been self-conscious, and I wouldn't say like I was like hitting the bottle when COVID happened, but I just kind of didn't give a shit. I was like, whatever, I'm going to eat and drink, whatever. I got to a point where I was like, I want to lose weight. And my wife and I at the time were also trying to get pregnant, and it was taking us a little bit. And I got to a point, I'm like, I would hate for a doctor to be like, yeah, son, the reason you're not getting pregnant is because you're almost 400 pounds.
Right. Yeah.
So I was like, I'm going to because I like competing. I'm competitive, and powerlifting was a very me versus me thing. And it's the same kind of mentality. It's like, when you're loading the bar, okay, it's just one more plate. So running, it's like, oh, it's just, one more minute. It's one more quarter mile. So it's that same kind of mental game you play with yourself. And my wife did Ironman. So her and I are both in that, competitive mindset. And I told her, I was like, hey, I want to try and do this. Will you run with me? She's like, yeah, sure. The first time I did it, we were in New Hampshire because her mom had a house out there, and we're running on this trail. She's walking as fast as I'm running. And I'm like, this is a fucking joke, dude. So it was slightly humiliating. I think my first mile I did when we started running was like 19 minutes. And I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna get good at it. Yeah. So then I was like, just like powerlifting, I'm like, hey, I'm gonna just do it like week by week and just see where I can go. And I got to a point, I think I got to like a 10-20 mile, and I signed up for a 5K. I did like a virtual 5K, and it was a Chris Farley themed 5K. So it was down by the river 5K, and you got this cool like Chris Farley medal. But it wasn't the same type of competitive, being around other people. Mm-hmm. So we did a turkey trot last year, and I think that's enough 5Ks for me.
You've done everything you need to accomplish there. Hey, you did show some good improvement though. That's for sure.
Yeah. But it's more so with that and with powerlifting and with her doing Ironman and now being a father. My biggest thing now is I don't expect my son to be a powerlifter. I don't want him to be I want him to be whatever the hell he wants to be. But I also, at the end of the day, want him to know that anything you set your mind to, you can do it.
Yep.
So something like squatting 900 pounds seems like an impossible feat, but hey, you can do whatever you set your mind to. I did this. Your mom did this. No matter what, you can do it.
Yep.
So
absolutely.
I think that's cool. And that's a cool thing being a dad to kind of set that example.
Yep. For sure.
Shout out to all the dads out there.
Dads making it happen. All right. Last one. Last over under. This is for all the marbles.
Is it going to be Ohio pie pizza?
No, not this time. That is. I should have thought it. I should have called you ahead.
Well,
Kevin.
wait. I'm gonna just answer this one right now. Being from Chicago, I think it's underrated. I think Nick's Pizza is underrated.
Okay.
When we moved out here, everyone's like, "You're moving out to Ohio for pizza?" It's in a league of its own.
It's in squares.
I'm a Chicago deep dish or pub style guy, but it's some of the best pizza I've ever had. And if you guys ever make it out here, Nick will feed you. Like,
no, I know. Like that's like my biggest complaint about the Arnold is that we can never get to where Ohio style pizza actually is. So I can't like actually get to have it. Like we got to figure something out one of these times.
I'm sure next year we can figure something out where we just have someone or like his dad come drive it down.
But it's still not the same. It's still not the same as getting it fresh in the shop. Like that's
true. But he's got the delivery bags.
True. Yeah. Okay, but
all right. Hit me with this last
for
one.
all the marbles here. Overrated or underrated? MySpace.
Oh fuck! I was actually trying to log into my MySpace the other day.
Can you still get into it? Like, does it still exist?
Well,
Does
so
the
I looked up my old
page still exist?
Oh my god! How the fuck? you guys do your research. That's literally what I was trying to do. It just nothing works because I was trying to see like what the old music sounded like. And you can't find it, and I can't log into my own. It's a tough one, man. Is it overrated? I think MySpace was underrated.
That makes sense to me.
I like looking in hindsight, MySpace was so much cooler than fucking Facebook.
Yeah, I mean, on MySpace, you would go to a band's page, and their song would play whether you like it or not, right?
Correct.
Instagram doesn't have that. Facebook doesn't have that.
And you were like 13 years old and you figured out how to do coding.
Yeah, you could change the backgrounds
you would change the background. You'd embed some stupid music video into the page, and then your top 8. You had to have your friend, but then there was random hot girls you didn't even fucking know, but you just wanted people to know that you were friends with them.
Yep.
I remember. I mean, that was the only time I've ever been like the DM guy. I just randomly messaged a girl, like, "Yeah, you're really hot."
Real original.
Like, oh, I'm just doing MySpace so hard right now.
Yeah. The only reason it's funny you guys brought it up because I was trying to look through it the other day just to see what my pictures used to look like because I don't have a lot of those old photos.
Mm-hmm.
And it's probably for the better, but.
So MySpace underrated. I totally agree. I think there's a good number of people that have never even experienced it before.
The young
MySpace was just,
people.
in my opinion, MySpace, aside from it being kind of, what Facebook has kind of become, it was so good for music. That is what I really enjoyed about MySpace.
Yeah, it's
because that's where I found so many of the bands. A lot of the bands that I still listen to today, I found on MySpace.
Really? Yeah, that's awesome.
And it would the last band that I was actually in, the only reason I made it into that band was because in parentheses next to their name was like needs a bass player, and I'm like, well, fuck, I play guitar, I can play bass.
Yeah, it's basically like Craigslist at that point.
It is
safer Craigslist.
Yeah, that was actually a goofy situation because the dude who I talked to, his family owned a GNC franchise. So when I went to audition, he gave me the address and it was literally GNC. And I was like, hey, dude, am I at the right spot? He's like, yeah, come around back. I'm like, I'm at GNC. He's like, yeah, I know. They had their practice space in the back of a GNC. And I walked in and never met these guys. And they were all really cool. They were all geeked out on Spike Energy. I don't know if you guys had that.
Yeah, well, wasn't that did that have like alcohol in it too or not? Or is that just a straight up energy drink? Maybe I'm thinking of Miller Sparks.
Oh, I think that's what you're thinking of. Yeah.
It was literally just called Spike. It was in a black or red can.
Is it one of those that they only sold at GNC?
Pretty much. I think they had it at a vitamin shop for a minute. It was like a red line competitor. It was basically like meth in a can.
Yeah,
so I was like,
really
yeah,
good
sure, I'll
you.
fucking try it. Dude, my hands were shaking and I'm like trying to play their songs. I'm like, oh my God, I'm blowing it.
Yep. You show up when they drug you and take advantage of you. It's
yeah.
Well, Kevin, good news is you did pass overrated, underrated. So
oh shit.
The pressure's off.
Congratulations.
You can relax.
Hell
now.
Yeah. Thanks.
Well,
do I get a prize?
Yeah, we'll air the episode and release the shirt next week, I guess. Will be the prize.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
we didn't tell you.
We should probably.
We didn't tell you if you did really bad for overrated, underrated. We just weren't going to release the shirt, so it was going to be. There was a lot riding on that actually.
Yeah. Oof.
Be like, I promise we collabed with these guys. They said they did.
Yeah. Just silence on our end. Nothing's there.
Be like, yeah, you guys sent us a cease and desist. Like, no, we did not want this shirt.
We don't know any of those guys. We did not give them permission. This is all wrong. But no, that is not true. We did give you guys permission. You gave us permission. We both made amazing shirts. People need to look out for, what do we say, Tuesday, September 13th?
Yep, 8 p.m. Eastern
7
Standard Time.
p.m.
That's what is
Western
what
Northeast
is that
South
in?
Dakota. 1 hour back, 7 p.m. Western Northeast South Dakota time. The drop will be happening. Make sure you buy ours. And also make sure you head on over to livelargefitness.com and buy theirs as well. Did I miss anything in that pitch there, Kevin? You can elaborate and add to that as much as you want.
No, I don't think you did. Not to cause confusion or frustration for any customers, but we'd love to sell them both together, but it's kind of getting you guys both on both of our pages. Yeah. So if you want our shirt, you got to buy it on ours. But I'll have a link. I will have a link for your tee on our page. So it will, if you're looking for it, you can find it. You're going to just have to pay separately on Massenomics.
Yep. That's called the price of doing business there.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, thanks a lot, Kevin. Tell Nick we said hello. Oh, also Tanner was listening in the Discord. He said, tell Big Kevin hello. So Tanner did say hi as well.
Tell him I say hey, and I'm actually going to need some beard advice from him because out of nowhere he has just like this gigantic.
I'll tell you his advice. This is Tanner's advice. Don't ever cut it or touch it ever. That's his secret right there.
That's what everyone says. But I mean, yeah, between like him and Dan Bell, like some of these people with these beards, like It's gotta
Dan's
be like
is usually
jeans or something.
pretty. Dan's maybe it's like a meat day thing, but his looks like manicure, like
Pretty shaped.
like shaped and trimmed to perfection.
Yep. But have you ever seen Dan Bell when his beard is basically up to his eyebrows?
Well, I think it's always basically up to his eyebrows, isn't it? Doesn't on meat day? Doesn't he have to cut it down so it's not in his eyebrows?
Yeah, so you can see.
Yeah, yeah. It's hard to respond to calls when you can't see him. So yeah,
Or he just grows it out. It's like his way of putting the face paint on, like when you're a football player.
yeah,
You know.
yeah.
All right, guys. Well, hey, thank you for having me on the show, and I look forward to hearing this.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Was there anything else? Yeah, we said the drop. Also, tell people go to Live Large Fitness if you haven't been there. I think that's everything.
Yeah, I mean, I would just keep an eye on our page. We release a new item every single week. We actually have a really cool, kind of like outdoor, national park kind of camping themed release coming out. We're really excited about.
You guys just had did I see like duck camo kind of? Is that the style?
I'm actually wearing it right now.
Yeah.
I actually got to take it off because I'm sweating in my apartment right now. But
Those are awesome. I like those.
Yeah, they're sweet. They turn out great. But yeah, I mean, just new stuff every week. So be on the lookout.
Awesome. All right. Well, thanks a lot, Kevin.
Absolutely. You guys have a good night.
Yeah, we'll talk to you later.
Yep.
Bye.
Cool beans.
Kevin got the cool beans. Yeah, that was fun. Like we both said, make sure you go out and buy those things. Ryan, being that you are also a guest on this podcast, you're going to get a special guest privilege here, and that is you get to read this ad.
That's what I came here for. I didn't come here for a haircut. I came here to read the ad.
And read it, you're going to do.
All right, here
Take
we
it
go.
away.
In 1995, Maurice Big Mo Huffman founded Swisslink. He had a partner based in Switzerland, and their mission was to bring authentic Swiss Army goods to the United States and into the hands of those yearning for quality gear at uncompromised prices. Over the year, that mission expanded to nations across Europe and beyond. Now, for nearly 3 decades, Big Mo has been traveling far and wide in search of the best items for military forces around the world. Big Mo doesn't only find authentic military clothing for Swisslink. He brings in everything you can imagine, from Czech Army bedpans to Italian champagne glasses. At Swisslink.com, you can find classic military surplus uniforms, a great selection of military issue backpacks, tools, wool blankets, NATO fuel cans, gas masks, emergency food, first aid kits, survival packs, camping gear, and so much more. Swisslink's unrivaled collection and dedication to quality customer service sets them apart from the rest. Treat yourself to the real thing with authentic military surplus and save 15% on your first order from Swisslink.com with the code MASS at checkout. That's Swiss like Switzerland. LINK.com.
Swiss, like SWISSLINK.com.
Well,
I know. You're just reading that. I know.
okay. The LINK is very obvious that it's supposed to be read that way. The Swiss is not. They have a large variety of things. Gas masks. I've been in the market for a gas mask. I think I might.
Sometimes when I read that, I picture it's actually just one of those weed gas masks, you know, that.
Oh, bong. Yeah.
Bong
like
gas
a bong,
mask.
right?
Just because, like, it'd
A
be
weed
really
bong?
funny that, like, for some reason that was a military surplus item. They're like, honestly, how did this get in here? You
That's
know,
not my bag, baby.
you order a gas
Certainly
mask and that's
is.
what you get. You're like, oh, something went wrong here.
Got that gas.
And today's show is also brought to you by Barefoot Shoes. Most shoes harm your mobility by over-restricting your foot's natural movement. Barefoot shoes are designed with minimal restrictions so your feet can move the way they're supposed to. Move with more strength and confidence in every step. Barefoot Shoes was founded by Chris Duffin, who attributes proper foot biomechanics as foundational to his success in squatting and deadlifting over 1,000 pounds for reps. He helped create the company to provide a minimalist shoe that can be worn for anything from deadlifts to walking your dog. Go to www.barefoot.shoes to check out the best minimalist shoes available. I've been rocking my Barefoot shoes in the gym for a couple weeks now, and they're just breaking in and getting better as the day go by. I have the Ursus. I always got to remember the Ursus because Lamborghini makes a SUV.
Lamborghini Mercy.
It's the Urus. But this is the Ursus.
Well,
I
that
have
would
the
make sense
Ursus.
because it's bare.
Yeah,
you know.
I have the Ursus high top in all black. It looks great, and it just keeps getting better. Keeps breaking in better. Lots of room.
At first they're restrictive, but then they become a part of
they
you.
become a part of you. Yes, like was said in Wayne's
Get a
World.
pair of underpants.
If you would like to get a pair of Barefoot shoes for yourself, go to barefoot.shoes. Go through you can browse their products and pick something out. Oh, and also, most importantly, use code Massenomics to save 10% on your order from Barefoot Shoes.
It's science. It's Massenomics, you could say, right?
Thank you, Barefoot.
I know sometimes Tanner likes
And Swisslink.
And Swisslink. That's SWISSLINK, Swisslink. I know Tanner likes to sometimes bring up placings and winnings within the scene. So I just was wondering if you were paying attention to the World Series today.
No.
The World Series of Warzone.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Like, it's got to be some World Series I'm not aware
No,
of.
it's the World Series of Warzone.
That's the thing.
Last one before Warzone is over. So,
Has there been any major upsets yet?
well, FIFA Kill, if you're familiar with him, of course, right? He won the solo YOLO. So
Okay.
there's 40 teams of 3 players. So it's a trios format. They do 5 matches, and you're placed on your placing and your total kills per team. So the highest, trio out of the 40 people, they win $100,000 each.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a solo YOLO that they do at the end where it's just everybody against everybody.
Yeah.
And the winner of that gets $100,000.
Damn.
And Mr. FIFA Kills,
Got the
he
100
won
Gs.
that, which interestingly enough, he actually broke the kill world record.
In a
I think it was
single game?
yesterday. No, this is like yesterday or 2 days ago. 60 kills.
Like in a single
In a
game.
game.
though. Yeah.
Mhm.
Damn. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Is this a 100-player match or?
That was on the big map, so it's probably like 150.
Oh, they do go that high? Mm-hmm. See, I'm so out of the scene. I don't even
It's a
know
big
where to
scene.
go to. It is a big scene.
Joe
Damn.
didn't do so well though. His team got 15th place. So
Oh.
the movement king, he couldn't pull through.
Movement King his way out of it.
Yeah. Next time. We'll get him next time.
Okay. We have a little game we're going to play, but actually before we get to this game we're going to play, we do have to do a little segment called Supporting Our Supporting Members.
Let's do it.
This is one of the fastest growing segments on the entire show. And it's just a little way for us to give back to people that support us. Hence the title, Supporting Our Supporting Members. If you'd like to maybe get your name into the ring for a shot at being on this, you can head over to massenomics.com/join and sign up to become a supporting member. There's levels of support
levels to this.
for every financial situation. So, sign up over there. It comes with lots of benefits. You can be on the Discord. In this case, the Discord gets to listen to this entire episode live because I'm not cutting them off. Tanner's not here to stop me, so I'm not gonna turn this one off. We're gonna keep it going.
I feel them all in the room with us right now. Their presence is felt.
Like they're just breathing down my neck. But you'll also get a discount code, and you'll get the heads up on some early drops, early memes, all that good stuff. You'll be the first to know about it. So this week in supporting our supporting members, first up, I guess if I wasn't talking so much and I actually pulled this up, we'd be better off. Here we go. Okay. First one, Big Mo recently went on a little adventure. He went on a night climb of Mount Fuji. Mount Fuji, heard of it? Believe that's in Japan.
Yeah, right?
Yep. And
Wow.
he took a pretty amazing picture. He said once he got to the top, everyone was taking pictures with their country's flags or taking pictures with celebratory drinks. He said, seeing as that he got there last minute and he didn't have anything prepared, he went into his wallet and he busted out his Massenomics supporting member card. So here he has a picture.
That's better
of
than a
him
flag, honestly.
at Mount Fuji holding his Massenomics supporting member card.
That's how it's done. That's how you do it, people.
I can't say for sure, but I'm going to guess he's probably the first person to take a picture with a supporting member card on top of Mount Fuji.
No,
Can't say for sure. Can't
people
say
have
for
probably
sure.
done that before.
Well, this is the first one to document it and tell us. So, good
Seems
job,
like a
Big
common
Mo.
thing.
Next up, we have Nemechek.s. He had a second powerlifting meet. He had meet PRs for squat with 402 and bench at 330. Pretty good numbers there. Bench, especially at 330. God, that beats my best bench ever in a meet. It's good
Same
stuff
for
there.
me.
So congrats, Nemechek.s. He also had a 402 deadlift. There you go. And next on the list, we have Big Eric Yinzer from Pittsburgh. He did a pretty good job of using his strength at Pennsylvania's Strongest Lifters USPA meet. He made his opener squat at 245 kilos. He got his third bench at 220 kilos. That's a really good bench. And which was a 10 kilo PR and a master state record. And we're all about those master records. And he also got his third deadlift of 272 kilos or 600.8 pounds for a 12 kilo PR and a master state record in the same age weight bracket.
Nice.
Big Eric, strong dude, setting masters PRs. What more could you ask for? That's great stuff.
Very impressive.
And last up on the supporting members, we got to give props to Big Jonathan. He is now officially a daddy. You could say You could say daddy really is home now.
He's home. People.
So from what I've gathered, they had a good, happy, healthy baby, and everything went great. It looked like.
Did they have it at the hospital or in the car?
I think they went with the hospital, but I don't know. Maybe
or was it a car?
It could have
bed
just been
at
a
the
car
hospital?
that looked like a hospital too.
Sweet
I don't
ass car bed.
Yeah, it's hard to tell. I don't really know. So yeah, Jonathan had the family PR. It's a great. It's maybe the most impressive PR of
He's
them
well
all.
on his way to $1 million family, you could say.
He's halfway there.
He's halfway there. Yeah.
He's at a $500,000 family.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Still.
Yeah. All right. I think we've gotten through supporting members. We've gotten some other things. All right. We're going to play a little game, Ryan. And this is a game we kind of put together.
Yeah.
And so the game is going to be called, should we call it the bodybuilding tier list? Is that what we're actually just brainstorming it right now, obviously.
From the hip, yeah.
So we call it the bodybuilding tier list.
I think that's a fair name for it.
So people, if you spend some time on the internet, you've probably ran across these. You'll see people
Have
make
you been on YouTube?
people make tier lists. There's a variety of ways they do it, but typically on the left hand side, going down of look at the screen like it's a chart. The top left, you'll have like an S ranking, and then below it an A, a B, a C, a D, maybe even an F. So you have this whole ranking.
Or worse.
Yeah, or worse. And you'll get some categories of items, and you'll place them where they belong. Obviously, the best things go in the S category. The worst things go in the F category, if that's how that ranking's set up. And you place them where they go. So we're going to, in the name of this being an audio format and it's less visual, we don't want to have like 10 rankings. It gets a little harder to keep track of. So we're going to simplify it a little bit. We're going to have A being that, just like school, A is the best grade, F's the worst grade. People, I think, can follow along with that pretty good. And
You'll
what
be held back if you don't do your homework.
You will be held back. And what are we ranking? We are ranking
something we know a lot about.
Something we are experts on.
And our opinions are highly valued. So if you don't like it,
that's our
sorry.
perceptions on like 90s bodybuilding.
Yeah, I would say I was gonna say bodybuilding gear, but that would be confusing.
Yeah,
that's not gear.
That is confusing. It is just like bodybuilding culture, I would say. Whether it's apparel,
fit, swag.
Yeah, just kind of the whole lifestyle.
Equipment, yeah.
Just the whole lifestyle. So we have a list of things. Some of them we've talked about together. Some of them we came up with our own. And we're going to apply our ranking to these and give our logic behind where these fall in certain rankings.
Mm-hmm. The people have been asking for this, you could say.
Big Keith wants to know if I forgot to give Kevin cool beans. I did not forget to give him his cool beans. He did, in fact, get a double serving.
The coolest of the beans.
Okay, first up on the bodybuilding tier list, Zubaz. Where do you think Zubaz falls in the bodybuilding tier list?
I would say that Zubaz is a solid B. Now, this can completely fluctuate, and depending on your answer, like if you gave it an F, we have to meet in the middle. You know what I mean?
I'm not. I was gonna. I was debating between a B and a C in my head.
Okay.
Because I can't give too many things an A because that A is the best. So
yeah.
But Zubaz have kind of, I feel like, held on over the course of time. Like they've stuck around pretty good.
Not
but not like they're not like super popular. Like you're not going to go into any gym in America and see them.
No.
So they kind of do.
Jackal's Gym,
Maybe there, yeah. They still kind of do have that underrated component to them.
They do.
And they do still sort of like have that
transcend
80s, 90s vibe going too.
Yeah.
So I think they're a pretty solid B.
I would say B is fair. B is fair.
Okay. Well, that was pretty simple for the first
We
one.
can agree on that one.
All right. I'm writing these down. All right. Zubaz, B.
B tier.
All right. Next on the list, kind of a bodybuilding classic even to this day. And that would, or I shouldn't even say classic, bodybuilding essential. Spray tans. Where do spray tans fit?
Jeez. Spray tans. To the dungeon. I want to say F tier.
I was gonna go down low on those two. Like, I guess I've never seen a bodybuilder pose on stage like super white, you know? So I could see how maybe when you're super white with a spotlight on you, you look even whiter.
That's a good point. I don't think I've ever
like to
seen
the point
that either.
to the point where you're like reflecting light, you know?
Yeah.
So I think they could serve their purpose, but also it seems like one of the I don't know, least desirable, less exciting parts of the entire sport industry culture.
Yeah.
So I think I'll go with D on spray tans.
That's fair. D is fair. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Okay. Spray tans are getting the D.
That D.
Next up, bodybuilding tier list. Let's go oversized suits. And when we say oversized suits, we're talking, I don't even know if that's the correct term for this.
I think it's just a suit that like an
Like, if
average
you-
bodybuilder would have to fit into.
Well,
Box
but it's
tee.
more that like 90s cut. If you go early 2000s, if you Google Ronnie Coleman suit or bodybuilders in suits, you'll see some pictures and they're freaking amazing because I think back then maybe the suit, well, the pants were definitely wider, like baggier then than they are now. And also they do like the double-breasted thing. Like Ronnie Coleman has some where they're double-breasted with the pinstripes. Yeah, that's what I was just looking at the same picture.
Yeah.
Double-breasted with the pins. I think that's what that's called. Double-breasted. I don't know. It's not like your typical business suit that he has on, but I think they're also longer back then too. And they'd keep them a lot wider in the body. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the tailoring,
awesome.
the tailoring was a whole different vibe then for how they would tailor suits then compared to now. But they kind of look like one of those villains from like a villain from like a Batman animated TV show.
Yeah. Like a Lex Luger.
Yeah, something like that. It's
Lex Luthor?
I think it's Lex
was
Luthor.
the wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah. So where do the suits fall in?
Oh, yeah. See, they got some good
Oh yeah, the Discord's got the.
Yeah. A. Top of the A tier.
You think so?
Top of A tier.
You think the
Without
suits
a
belong
doubt.
in A tier?
100%. It's like
They are pretty iconic. Like that does belong to a certain period in time, like none other.
yeah. Yeah. A tier.
A tier.
No-
Okay.
No
All right.
other way.
You're going A strong A tier on that. I guess I'll go with that for now. Okay. Strong A tier on the 90s bodybuilding suits. Next up on the list, swords as trophies. A
Yeah.
sword award.
You know, I never really understood the sword as a trophy thing. I wonder how that even started.
I think because it's like a badass weapon, you know?
Okay, why not
You're-
give him a gun?
Well, because I'm sure there's at least a few more steps you got to go through.
Oh.
A gun's probably also slightly more expensive than a sword. I don't know. That's probably symbolically. I think a sword represents more of the warrior spirit over time. So I can
go
see
to-
where that comes from.
You've gone to war with it,
But it still is a bizarre, like,
the sword.
so I don't know. Have people had trophies as like battle axes and maces? Are those also trophies, or is the sword the only? What if the trophy was a bow staff? Like, you have won. Here is your bow
Nunchucks?
staff. Yeah, or
Some
nunchucks.
size.
Yeah. Like, wow, this is some kind of pretty obscure weaponry that I'm winning, but sure, I guess.
Some shurikens.
Yeah. Give you
Yeah,
like a satchel full of throwing stars.
Yeah, nobody's lining up to win the contest where you get throwing knives. Sword as a prize, right? It has to be
sword
framed
as a prize.
It can't be,
Not as like the movie saving weapon.
I like it. I changed my mind. I'm going to give it a B.
A B?
It's ridiculous, and I think that's why it's good. It makes no sense.
Yeah, I was floating between a B and a C, but I'll go with B.
Okay,
You struck first. I'll go B.
B minus.
Okay. Next on the list, lifting. I should say working out in work boots.
Ooh,
That's. I don't think you see that one much anymore, and that feels to me like a very '90s, early 2000s bodybuilding thing, right?
yeah. The only time I see it now is like if Larry gets off of
Well,
work, and
yeah, that's a different.
but that's not the same.
But he's not. Also, a lot of these guys though, when they're do you see the pictures? They're wearing briefs or shorts while they're working out in work boots. Like Larry actually has a work.
That's just the
work
circumstance.
clothing on. Like
yeah.
he's actually straight from the job site. He has the whole work costume on. You know.
Yeah. The boots like I can't think of like the actual brand. I can only think of like Lugs, which that's not like remember
No,
those?
that's not quite right.
Like a khaki or like a yellow
Oh, kind of like a Timberland style boot.
Timberland, that's what I'm thinking of.
But also a lot of the animal pictures have guys wearing work boots.
Animal?
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like a
like
supplement
this whole
company.
vibe kind of too.
Yeah.
You know, it's something about wearing posing trunks and work boots together.
I think it's kind of the same thing as the sword. It's like
Kind of
does this
ridiculous.
have to do with anything? But it still kind of works. I got to go B tier on this one.
Here, this Ronnie Coleman picture. That one's pretty.
Yeah, Ronnie Coleman with sunglasses.
But he's kind of
is
always the
like-
exception to the rule. Yeah, he has like
He looks like he's
small trunks on,
an
like posing
advanced
trunks, and
being
that's
from the
it.
future.
Besides sunglasses and work boots,
Yeah.
it's just a very odd collection of apparel to pick out to go work out in. He can pull it off, so he's always the exception. I think I got to go C tier on it, maybe even D tier to me. I don't know.
It doesn't really make sense.
I think there was like a very short window in time and just a very specific, not much more than like a handful of guys in the world that can ever pull it off at any one time. I think. I mean,
Yeah.
we work out with one of them.
He
We
can.
lift with one of them, but outside of that, there's only a very small group of guys. So, what was your first thought on it?
I wanted to say B, but now that
I'm talking it down, so maybe we got to go C, meet in the middle.
C minus.
Okay, work boots are C. All right, next on the list, we got fanny packs.
Ooh, this might be controversial, but I straight to the dungeon with fanny packs.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are ones that have like
Wait,
out
are
of
we,
almost
like-
everything on this list stood out and maybe even gotten more popular over time.
Especially if you're saying crossbody. I feel
Well,
like those are even.
That's a different.
But people
I count
do
that
that
as a
with
different
fanny
category.
packs. Or is it how they're worn? Is what they're.
I'm
labeled
saying
as?
like fanny packs around the waist, actually.
Not the bastardized version.
No, not this
real
modernized version. I'm saying the original 80s.
Yeah, I mean, I could see like you're at Gold's Gym. Okay, where's my syringe? My things I need. Okay, they're in my fanny pack.
Yeah, all
You
my
are
goods.
wearing it as like it has a purpose, right?
Oh, it's very
It's
functional.
not like the sword that's just like
it's the most
kinda there.
one of the most functional fashion items you could ever have.
Yeah, maybe. Well, this is probably before people ate gummy bears in their intro workout
for the intra calories.
fuel, but they probably had some kind of snacks in there.
Mm-hmm.
What did people eat in the 80s? Cracker Jacks?
Yeah, I don't think they had maybe like a Metrex bar or something.
Was that
if was
before
a thing.
sour candies were invented? They had those in
Probably.
the
I don't
80s?
think sour flavor existed yet.
You would
then.
have given the average 80s person sour candy, they would have just had a stroke.
Yeah, all they did was like suck on pennies for fun.
Cough drops. Yeah.
Cough drops and pennies.
Yeah.
All that existed then.
The fanny pack is a little more functional, I guess, than some of these other things, especially to the average bodybuilder type that might be kind of forgetful and maybe they need to keep their belongings close to them. So I'm gonna say a C tier.
Okay. I'll go with that too. I'll go with a C. Okay. Did you have any to add to this list?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
This is probably heresy to most people, but gloves.
Like lifting gloves, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
It's I'd say in the context of 90s bodybuilders, early 2000s bodybuilders, like maybe from a visual standpoint, it falls into like a C tier as part of the uniform. I mean, like actually working out, it's like an F tier all day, every day.
Oh, yeah.
Like, but as part of the costume of being a bodybuilder in the 90s and like, oh yeah, like I'm going to the gym.
Boots.
I got my
you've
boots,
got your
my posing trunks, my sunglasses
pack.
on,
Oh,
my fanny
yeah.
pack, and I have these workout gloves just to complete the look of like,
win.
whoa, this guy only puts things on his outer extremities. Like nothing. The closer you get to the body, the less clothes there are.
It's like socks for your hands.
Yeah, it is socks for your hands. So in that context, I could give it a B or a C, I think.
Yeah. I think a C is fair for the gloves.
Yeah.
I'm not really sure why, or like, you know, bodybuilding is all about the look, right? Especially when you're on stage. You don't want, we don't want to have all these blemishes on our bodies. We don't want to have all these scars, but it's like, what are you doing to where your hands are going to be, you know, destroyed from not wearing gloves?
I think it's more the
look, the general aesthetic,
the look in the gym of the gloves. Like a
So
fighter wears gloves, so it's a
That's
tough
true.
look, you know.
Fighters also get swords.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the warrior way.
Functionality wise, nothing, but aesthetic wise, C.
Yeah, C. Okay. Yeah, C. C.
Do
you have one more?
Yeah, I have one.
This will be the last one then.
Sleeveless, cut off, hooded sweatshirts.
Oh. Like, all right, it's confusing because now if someone did that, it'd be like, it takes a very specific person to pull that off, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Then I think that's one of the cooler looks that they had because it's kind of a contradictory item to have on.
Yeah.
I think I'd give that a solid B tier from the perspective of 90s bodybuilding.
Yeah, and I think that's been a common, you know, thread going through all of these is some of the more outrageous ones really serve zero functionality, but
Well, I guess it keeps your core warm, maybe.
in your head.
Torso in your head. Yeah.
But it also shows off your arms if you want to.
Because hoods are kind of annoying to have when you're in the gym.
Oh, like squatting with a hooded sweatshirt on?
Benching with a hooded sweatshirt.
Why?
Like
Oh
really
my
deadlifting is the
God.
only thing that's even convenient.
Yeah.
I shouldn't even say that where it's not an inconvenience to have it on.
Yeah, just a little.
But I guess if you want to keep a piece of apparel with it on, you decide to cut the sleeves off too.
I feel like
Keep
The
hood,
Rock
but-
does that every now and then.
Yeah, I think that is kind of his
He's
look.
kind of.
That does kind of fit his look.
Yeah, that's sort of his swag, though. Kind of like,
It
how
is.
old is he? Like 50?
I think so.
Yeah.
But I picture him wearing just in my head, The Rock, when he's working out, has a sleeveless hoodie on or a sleeveless zip-up vest.
And he has
with
his Terramana tequila
with a bottle of tequila next to him.
and 70
And
pieces of sushi.
he's also like,
while he's watching a movie on his MacBook Pro.
yeah, well, and he's doing that. Yeah, and he has a pile of pancakes a foot tall. But then he also has like a t-shirt on underneath his thing. And then he also has shorts on and then leggings on underneath the shorts too. But then he's
Sponsored by Under Armour.
But yes, it's all Under Armour. But then he's also taking a selfie video like, ha ha, what's up, lunatics? We're getting after it. I haven't slept in 2 days, and I'm going back from like it's something like that.
Yeah.
Like too much, man, too much. So that's what I picture when I think of The Rock, and like it all seems like, whoa, how did this camera get in my hand? But you also feel like at the same time, someone wrote that script for him, and he's just reciting a script.
That could be true, too.
It all feels like organic, but at the same time totally rehearsed, but like off the cuff, but at the same time very intentional.
That's
you know,
that's
it's the give and take of his whole persona.
That's the diversity that you can cultivate when you're a pro wrestler. You have that.
I know.
You have that deep within you, that ability to, you know, dance between reality and.
I do feel like the thing about The Rock though is he's always like on brand all the time. Is that you never really get like like even when he's like trying to be like I'm just a dude, it's like oh no, like there's some story behind something at all times. You know? Like it never feels like even when he's trying to be just a dude, he's never just a dude.
Right.
And maybe when you get that big, that's just the way the world works. You can never be that way, but I don't know.
Yeah, no, he's always on.
He is always on.
Always on, slightly off, just like
Yep.
IFC. You could
Just
say.
like that. He's kind of like he really is like a Ryan Seacrest. Like, I actually don't even know anymore. Like, you guys both just seem like you're like this showbiz robot at all times. Like, you're just the machine that's doing the thing that you're supposed to do 24 hours a day, nonstop. You know, I'm a huge Ryan Seacrest fan, so I
was going to say, you have been following his career since the beginning.
I would just know, I really got my pulse on the Ryan Seacrest.
Seacrest out.
All right. Well, I think that does conclude
With that being said,
the bodybuilding tier list.
bodybuilding tier list out.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Talking through some of the bodybuilding highlights of the style game.
I hope we didn't offend anyone with our controversial viewpoints.
I don't think so.
Probably not.
Only people that think very highly of spray tans are going to be offended.
Yeah, we just alienated the whole Discord, I think.
Yeah, that would be
Probably.
actually the Discord is very we do have a channel in there called Spray Tans and stuff.
No way.
I'm just making that
up. I'm on it. I don't even know what the channels are.
Why don't you go ahead and read that?
Keep yourself busy. Read this for me.
Go practice falling down.
The whole thing?
Yeah. No. The bottom.
Oh, this is a good one.
Yeah.
All right. Today's show is brought to you by Texas Power Bars. Buddy Caps first started lifting weights in the late 60s and began powerlifting in the mid 70s. At the time, he was working for Image Barbell, building gym equipment. Around 1976, a local machine shop started making Olympic bars for them, calling it the Image Bar. In 1977, Image Barbell became Champion Barbell. It was then that Buddy started looking at the bars with an intent of changing them for the better. In 1979, Buddy bought his first lathe to begin addressing the known issues. In 1980, his passion, drive, and purpose now had a greater mission. Buddy set out on his own to make what he believed was the greatest bar he had ever seen and trained with, and the Texas Power Bar was born. It was strong as a house with the best knurling and was maintenance-free. Hundreds of state, national, international, and world powerlifting records have been and continue to be set and broken on the Texas Power Bar. To learn more about Texas Power Bars and buy one of their legendary bars, visit texaspowerbars.com.
And last but definitely not least, today's episode is also brought to you by The Strength Co. The Strength Co. recognized. Actually, I'm going to skip that part of the ad. I'm going to change up my ad read. We have so many ad reads for them. I'm never sure what one to go with. But basically, the Strength Co. makes the best damn weight plates on the market. Their design process ensures function for the everyday lifter. The deep lip on the edge of the plates allows for great handling, and their largest plate width of only 1.25 inches leaves plenty of room on the bar for more weight. The inner diameter of 1.99 inches ensures a snug fit on every barbell sleeve, and it's the tightest on the market, and they ain't lying. They also have, they have weights that range from 1.25 pound all the way up to 100 pounds. So, they got the whole thing covered. And did we also mention that their plates are made in America? They're E-coated and they're built to last. They're the real deal. Precision machined, electro-coated. We have them at the Massenomics gym, and they have become the go-to plate for everyone in the gym. We actually have several sets of them because they're that damn good. So if you'd like to get a set of the Strength Co. plates for yourself, visit thestrength.co and do some shopping. Thank you, Strength Co. All right, Ryan, we're going to do one more quick thing here.
Let's do it.
And,
We're on a 5K?
it's a quick thing. Just a quick thing. You're technically also a guest on here, so it's only right that we also do another set of overrated or underrated.
I wasn't ready for this.
I know you weren't. Really caught you off guard. Okay, you know the rules. We don't need to go through those again. Overrated or underrated propane grills. That's Bear Grylls' brother, in case you didn't know.
Propane. He's the older one, right?
Yeah. Propane and his younger brother Bear.
He was on public access before Bear came along.
He started naked,
ruined everything. Propane grills, underrated, 100%. They're just so convenient.
That's what I think people.
I was on the charcoal train last summer,
but it's so damn time consuming. Like sometimes,
why don't I get my covered wagon out while I light up my charcoal grill?
I get it. Like if someone says charcoal tastes better, sure, I won't argue with that. I'm not gonna like say it like propane tastes shitty. Yeah. But if you really think it tastes better, I'll side with that. But it also takes way longer.
Oh God, I've had so many just stupid things. It's like, oh, I'm gonna try to make ribs on a charcoal grill. Okay, let's set up this snake pattern to get all the charcoal to burn. And then it's like 8 hours later, I'm like, I don't even know if these things are cooked at all. But yeah, charcoal is fine, but propane underrated. Propane is good.
Okay.
Propane.
Okay.
Propane.
Riding that train. Overrated or underrated? Anthony Bourdain.
Mr. Bourdain. Oh, absolutely underrated. Now, like, especially with YouTube, I think people forget, like, how terrible cooking shows are. Like
like what do you mean? Like modern ones or just any cooking show?
Most modern cooking shows, because I take that back. Most modern food shows. So we grew up together. You remember this, right? So I've always been like a Food Network fanatic. Not much recently, but like especially when I was a kid, Iron Chef.
Yep. Like the original ones.
Yeah. Oh, and that's a very good point to make.
Important distinction.
Yes, very important distinction. So now shows, which is funny that I'd say Iron Chef was a good show, but now all shows on Food Network, we have to turn this into a competition.
Well, and not just a competition. It's like an overly dramatic, weird game show.
Oh, there's only 5 seconds left. It's like, do we need to create this false sense of urgency with everything? It's like, can't you just make the food and have a personality?
And can't anything just be about if it is a competition, just making something really good without 30 artificial constraints always?
Yeah, it's just trying to gamify, something that doesn't need to be gamified. And I guess the point I'm trying to make is, now, you have a lot of these personalities, whether it's Action Bronson or, Maddie Matheson or his name escapes me. He had the pizza show on Vice.
Yeah, I just watched it like a week ago. I
cannot remember what his name is. But it's okay. These people care about food, whether they're actually chefs or they were or whatever. And then they go someplace and they meet someone and it's kind of more about the experience. And it's about, okay, this person started this restaurant and they're doing this with their life and whatever. And to me, that's just way more interesting. And I guess the point I'm trying to make
is, restaurant every day for 50 years.
Yeah. It just makes for better television, I guess, in my opinion. And I think somebody that did that for a really long time was Anthony Bourdain, no reservations, that kind of thing. So yeah, 100% underrated.
Okay.
By all means.
Next up, overrated or underrated, AMD graphics cards.
Ooh. Oh, I love that you asked me this. So I'm a PC gamer and I have not been for all that long, but I will die on this hill. Because, I mean, who's going to debate what's better, a $1,500 computer or a $300 console? I mean, you just there's no comparison here. But NVIDIA graphics cards, they're good, but they are very overpriced. Now, AMD, what's like a comparison to make here? If if NVIDIA is like Nike, maybe AMD is like, I don't know. What's not as good as Nike? I don't want to offend anyone.
I wasn't quite sure where you would go with that one. Maybe a car comparison is easier to make because there's a lot more.
I don't know anything about cars. But anyways, NVIDIA is is here, and to a lot of people, AMD is like down
A
here.
tier below. They're a notch below.
Yeah, but a lot of people, they like NVIDIA just because they're a shill. They couldn't even tell you the difference of what the features are, or if you were to sit somebody down and say, okay, we're gonna have you play this game on an AMD graphics card and then an NVIDIA. I honestly don't think they could tell the difference. But cost to performance, I think AMD is the way to go. Plus, I kind of like things that are just sort of like a little under what people are really into. And I think AMD does, they do that. They do what NVIDIA does. It's cheaper. It's not NVIDIA. Their ray tracing isn't as good, but honestly, ray tracing isn't a selling point for anything.
Yeah. But okay, but to be fair, their reputation has recently changed, though, wasn't it? Because they were lagging behind for quite a while, weren't they?
Well, yeah, and I mean, I think that's what a lot of people
They got that reputational cruft stuck on them.
driver support. People, oh, you do not want an AMD graphics card. The drivers, it'll crash. You'll get blue screen. You will never be able to use that thing. I've never had that problem, and of course, that's totally anecdotal, but I don't know. I think a lot of people just want to hate on stuff, and especially PC people really like to say, this is what's good, apart. And you're using that, and no. But I would say AMD
Underrated.
Price, performance, everything underrated.
All right, last one for all the marbles. Overrated or underrated? Tanner Baird.
Ooh. I feel like you're only asking me this because I'm replacing him. Is that why?
Yeah, because there's been a hostile takeover.
He's tied up. Tanner Baird. Oh, 100% underrated. 100%. I guess I'm not really sure how to expand on
it's your
that.
brothers. You can elaborate as much or as little as you want.
Yeah, I mean, I think. Without being too sentimental or weird, I would probably say like lifting and all that. Like, I don't really know if I would be, still lifting now, had it not been for like meeting him or you two being very close. So, yeah, it's very strange that, you meet like one person. It's like, maybe my life would be, very different had I not somehow become friends with that guy that was at the YMCA that I would like say hello to every once in a while.
Oh yeah, totally.
Cause I mean, geez, what was that, like 2014 or something like that? And
around maybe even earlier, maybe.
Yeah. So to, think, if you're like in the basement, you're at the Massenomics gym and you look around and you see all the cool equipment and you see all the people that are there, and it's like, damn, this could have not happened at
so
all
easily. Yeah.
And I, maybe if I'm lucky, would be lifting at a different gym, but would I be lifting with any of these people? I don't know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Kind of makes a guy think,
Yeah, do some thinking. Like, oh damn, would I have even met Larry the Legend then? Like, how the hell does this all work out?
I don't know. I'd like to think me and Larry, we would have been
destined to
friends
cross
anyways.
paths.
We would have ended up living by each other anyways. And yeah.
All right, that's all good. I agree. So for the second time in one episode,
Cool beat. Cool it.
Overrated or Underrated was passed. You did survive.
Thank you.
We have read all the ads. We've covered everything that there could possibly be to cover. The list is complete. We're all good. I think we can shut this thing down. We've already talked about a lot. Make sure you go to Mastonomics, get in on that Live Large collaboration tee. We should also have a few other little goodies popping in the release. Get those too, or be on the lookout. A little surprise. Get on there. You can see what it is. Also get over to Live Large's website, livelargefitness.com. Buy one of their, buy our collaboration tee with them. Buy some of their stuff too. They got some good, clean designs. They've been around a long time. They're the real deal. They're good guys over there. If you live in the Ohio area, stop by the Ohio Pico. I'd be super jealous of you if you did.
If you're in the Massenomics Discord and you have access to the Ohio Pico, meaning you live in what would be sensible, a 4-hour radius, go there, eat the pizza, and give us your full review. Spare us no detail.
A lot of people have been there.
Well, let us know.
Yeah, so you do those things. Sign up to become a supporting member, massenomics.com/join. Leave a review of the podcast. Tell me how I did as my first time trying to lead this thing in, I don't know, probably 4 years or more. I just had to remember a bunch of Tanner's little catch lines and
Little quippy.
his little
things he
catchphrases, and the whole thing practically takes care of itself.
does. True.
Leave us a little star ranking on Spotify. I guess that's always good too. And tell a friend about the podcast if you enjoyed listening to this. Spread the word. We need more people to hear this thing. So you can find me at Tomahawk_D. Ryan, where can people find you?
Flyin Ryan _D.
I want to change mine. Okay, Ryan, where can people find you?
Twitch.tv/Flyin Ryan _D.
Okay, and you can find me at Tomahawk_D, but no one cares about that. Just make sure to follow Massenomics at Massenomics. See ya.
Nice.